Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, as we see things ramping up, we're seeing them actually coming out and talking about their vaccines and how much they feel confident that their vaccines are going to help them get back to normal. What you're watching right now is like a competition between Elijah and the priests of Baal. See, the Most High has already made the proclamation at the end of 2019 when this virus came on the scene. And then when he shut everything down in March, in our new year, he made the proclamation that Esau's reign is over. It's done. It's time for them to come clean, tell the truth. But the other nations have doubled down on their lies and have kept the truth from the people. Now, as things get worse for them, they're just doubling down more and more on their lying. And the vaccines are pretty much what they put their faith in. Now, when you look at 1 Kings 18, we'll start around 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Most High. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. So you don't think that right now they have a lot of their people doing their witchcraft behind the scenes that are doing whatever they can in order to reclaim their time, reclaim their civilization, reclaim their blessing? We know that's exactly what they're doing. But see, forever, we were taken away from our power. We were separated, taken away from the power of our ley lines, taken away from the power of knowledge and understanding of who we were. But see, now we have pretty much what you're seeing right now is a competition between the Most High and then the gods of this world. Let me go continue with 23. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Most High. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be the Most High. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. So you got this kind of competition going on right now, but see, people don't understand what's going on. They don't see, that there are the gods of this world and then the Most High. All they're putting their faith in is the gods of this world. They don't realize that the Most High is here, and the Most High is making their life miserable already. Okay. "25. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves." Okay, we got that part already. Okay. And actually, and dress it first. "For ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under." So he said, hey, go ahead and call on your power. Go ahead and call on your gods. Call on the ones that you've been, praying to go ahead and take care of you. And see, this world is doing the same thing. As you watch the news, you're seeing them putting their faith in their gods, and their gods is the vaccine. What are they trying to use their gods to do? To make things go back to normal. And back to normal is, of course, us at the bottom. So they're pretty much calling on their gods to put us at the bottom in order for them to live deliciously again. That's exactly what they're trying to do with the vaccine. And that's what that vaccine represents. Normalcy for the other nations. It represents us going back in the bottom, us being cursed once again. So the Most High, right here, Elijah's telling you guys set your stuff up first. Okay? 26. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. Okay? So they're out here, trying to get their normalcy back. They're going to their churches. They're keeping their churches open so they can go to their churches. They're praying for that normalcy. They're praying for them to be put back on top. That's what they're asking their gods to do right now. This is a very spiritual battle right now. And since the conjunction happened, we had more of our people praying. We know that everything is being sped up as far as their destruction is concerned. I just got something over the news right now that a Swiss man just passed away right after taking the vaccine. We had the Israeli man a couple of days ago, and who else knows? What other things? Other things are they hiding that if they're not telling us is going on? We don't. I said we don't know. We know that there's other adverse events that are going on with people that are taking, these vaccines. So we understand that, and we understand how this is the same things that's happened before is happening right now. It says, let's see here. 27. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure. He sleepeth and must be awakened. So Elijah knew he has faith in his power. So he was over there talking that mess. I said he was over there letting them know that their God is nothing. And see, this is why it's been so important for them to not, let us know who we are. Because once we come back with our power, we have confidence that the Most High is going to do what he says he's going to do. If he says he's going to protect us, like in Psalms 91, then we have that protection, and we know that from the Most High. These other people used to have so much confidence, but see, their priests, don't have any power. And they hear us online telling the truth, talking about all the lying that they've been doing, talking about the fact that their gods have no power. We're the only ones, that the Most High has been raising up to sit there and tell them that all of their prophecy, all the stuff that they've been coming up with, is a bunch of garbage. The vast majority of the world is still talking about how they still have power, how they're going to, I guess, raise back up after this beatdown they're already receiving, and they're going to make it so that we're going to have to do this, and that in order to continue in their society, which they seem to think is still going to continue. So I love sitting there looking at this, listening to Elijah talking that mess. We know he was talking more than that. He was talking for hours and hours and hours. There wasn't just a little, a couple little words here and there. These people are going for hours, all day long, trying to get their power to light up their altar. So you know how Israel is. It wasn't just a couple little words. We had all day knowing that we already knew that their stuff wasn't going to work. So we had all day to just talk mess, knowing that their stuff was never going to work. You know how upset, that makes the other nations when they're sitting here crying and cutting themselves and trying to get their normalcy back, just like right now, no different than today. I said we're telling them that, your power isn't anything. Your time is up. You're not going to be able to do what you used to do to us anymore, and they hate it. And they absolutely hate it. But I can imagine Elijah over there just all day long, just talking. And then them getting all upset because, it's not going their way. So 28, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them. So they're getting all pissed off. Now look at the nations today. Look at how they're acting right now. Are they not all upset because they can't go out and do whatever it is they want to go do? They can't go out and enjoy this beautiful land like they used to. They can't put us at the bottom and make us do all this work so they can enjoy their blessing. So the Most High is allowing the other nations to go out there and plead to their God, plead to their power, plead to their Caesarea, plead to white Jesus. And nothing's happening for them. So now they put their faith in these vaccines. White Jesus didn't help them out. Now it's the vaccines. And I'm sitting here listening to one guy because I guess over in the UK, they just approved a new vaccine. And it's just funny listening because one of the doctors was like, well, this is going to be, we're going to be, well, I'm not sure if he was a doctor. I mean, maybe clarify. I thought he was. But the whole point was what he was saying, what he was claiming was that, well, we're going to be able to, we have enough vaccine now to vaccinate everybody. And we're going to, try to go out here and get everybody vaccinated by the spring so that this, plague is going to be behind us by the spring. We're like, oh, okay. And they're making all these bold claims. Just like, the priests of Baal making all these bold claims that they're going to be able to do this, 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 and that. Because we want to go back to our sense of normalcy. Yeah, you want to go back to being on top and putting us at the bottom. And see, the Most High is allowing you to go ahead and make all your, your assumptions, make all your proclamations, talking about how things are going to go back to normal because we got this vaccine. And oh yeah, we just all of a sudden in Colorado, this new strain came up, but they're pretty sure, they're very confident, as they say, that the vaccine is going to work on this new strain, even though they haven't tested it, but they're very sure. And like I said, we already know their track record on a lot of things, so how things have been going. What did Trump say? Trump said they were going to try to get 100 million doses, in your arm by the end of the year. Then he dropped it to like 40 million. He's like, well, damn it, 20 million. And now it's only been like 2 million. And he says, you know what? That's not my fault. That's the state's fault. So it's just funny because they keep on making all these proclamations about how they're going to do this and do that, and if things don't work out. And they don't realize, well, the people at the top realize, why isn't the stuff working out? Because the Most High doesn't want it to work out. He's letting you guys make your proclamations about how you're going to be this, you're going to do this, or by 2021, things are going to be much better. Things are going to go, back to normal by the summer. And then I guess there's now been all this talk about how they've only been getting, here in the United States, I guess 1 million doses administered in a week. And they said at that level, at that rate, it'll take 10 years to vaccinate everybody here in the United States. 10 years. Again, that's the Most High letting you guys make your proclamations, and then him just destroying whatever it is that you say. So you guys are pretty much putting a curse on yourselves just by saying that, oh, in 2021, for sure, we'll be back to normal because we're going to, we have these vaccines. You're just making it worse for yourself, because every time you make a proclamation like that, the Most High's got you, and he starts tearing you down even faster. So that's all part of prophecy. This is all things that have been happening before. These competitions, have happened before. These public displays so that people can see whose power is the real power. Okay? 29. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Most High that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar, okay, in the name of the Most High. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he said, and he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, okay, and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time, and they did it, okay, the second time. And he said, Do it the third time, and they did it the third time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. So he's just putting a whole lot of water all over the place. He just making sure it's nice and wet, so ain't no excuses. Okay, and when you have faith in the Most High, that's exactly what you can do. Okay, it's not like a weak faith, like, well, maybe he'll do it. No, we know the Most High is going to do it. We know that the Most High is going to take care of His people, and He's going to show out when it's time, because the Most High is going to prove that the Most High is with His people and no one else. And even like I said, you see these doctors talking about the vaccine. They're not that confident. You can just hear in their voices, well, we think it's going to work. Well, because they can't say for sure, because they haven't tested it. They haven't tested it, so they can't say for sure what it is or what's going to happen. Okay? Okay. 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art the God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Okay? Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. So again, like I said, it's about turning the hearts of our people back again, to people that knowing that who is the Most High and who His people are. Okay. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, He is the God. The Lord, He is the God. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them. And Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. And you see, that's what you're seeing right now. The priests of Baal are praying to return to normalcy, praying for their blessing back. The Most High is allowing them to go out there and show what they put their faith in. They put their faith in Caesarea. That hasn't worked. They're putting their faith in this vaccine, and that's not going to work either. And it's funny because they keep saying, this is great news about this new vaccine, in such dark days. This is because they were talking about, this is pretty much all they have to hold on to. You imagine if they didn't have this actually out here, how crazy these people would be. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen in the Most High's time. They're going to realize they're putting their faith in these vaccines, but they're not going to work. The Most High's got this. The Most High is the director of this movie, and you can see, that it's ramping up. It's ramping up big time. But yeah, like I said, I just saw the on the news feed, actually the news feed. Let me check it out really fast about this person just passing away right after taking the vaccine. Let me see if it's still here. So I'm going to read the headlines at least. That was the it's a little bit of an ad or a commercial there. Well, last night, one of the Republicans who had just won the election died of the plague. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay. So we got Louisiana Congressman-elect Luke Letlow dies from the plague. Got that one right there. I don't see it, but I'm sure you guys have already seen it because it's going to be all over the news. Because another person who, right after they took the vaccine, passed away over. I want to say it's over in Switzerland. And this is barely the beginning of the rollout. And I guess there's probably also, we're not going to talk about that because we don't want to get the video messed with. All right. But we understand what's going on. See, these people, and then there's all these other things that are happening. They got all this stuff happening over in Yemen, I guess. And I guess we're supposed to be looking at that for, I guess they killed some lawmakers, whatever, in Yemen. I guess that has something to do with biblical prophecy, according to them. I have no idea why. See, in the scriptures, it always talks about Israel. Israel is a time clock. What happens with us is what is the time clock. When you understand that Israel is a time clock, then you hook that up with Jacob 5:60, when it talks about how as we grow, the other nations get taken down. That's the time clock. The time clock isn't what happens over there in the so-called Middle East with those people. They're not growing as far as this truth is concerning. They're not bringing out new knowledge, understanding. So, Israel's a time clock. The Most High chosen people are the ones that you need to be paying attention to. As they grow in understanding and in stature and in numbers, then that affects the other nations. That affects the Gentiles. So as you can see now, there's all of a sudden, there's a new strain, right? And what does this new strain do? It's what they say is it increases, how fast or how many more people are going to be getting the plague. If you connect that with Jacob 5, and how if this new strain is going to make them sicker faster, that would mean then that our numbers are going to start to go through the roof even more. Our numbers in the truth are going to go through the roof even more because the Most High has unleashed another variant that is going to take out more people. And that's how you have to look at these, these news stories and these events. Well, how does this work with prophecy that we've been, blessed with the understanding that we've been given? Because everything revolves around us. So if there's a new variant that actually speeds up everything, then that shows you that the Most High is working on sweeping people off our lands even faster, which is prophecy. But the other nations won't know that because they're looking at Yemen, or they're looking at, Israel might do something again with Iran, or they might attack somebody, because that's what they always do. They're not going to look at what's going on over here and this new strain that's going to kick up and speed up the sweeping of the people off of our land. So that just shows that the Most High is approves with what we're doing. I said, because if he didn't, remember now, I said, if we don't grow, they get to stay. They get to inhabit our lands. But we must be growing like crazy, because now the Most High has unleashed a variant that is now going to sweep people off even faster. And all we hear from them is, well, we think that it's going to work. Well, we're pretty confident it's going to work. We're pretty confident that, I'm like, yeah, okay. You didn't even test the first one against, with a bunch of people. You didn't even test it, on a bunch of people. You have a very small sample size of how this vaccine is going to react in the general population. Now, couple that now with a variant of the plague that sweeps you off faster. I wouldn't be very confident. I don't know why they're so confident, because they know that this is all the hope that their people have. Because they know that their powers are their gods are powerless against the Most High, and they want to give people hope that they're going to be able to beat us down and put us at the bottom again, and be able to enjoy their lives again. That's what they're putting out hope for. But we all understand that that's not going to happen. When you go to Ezekiel 37, it's talking about the dry bones being the two houses of Israel coming back together, standing up again. That's what prophecy is about. So how you get what's happening in the so-called Middle East is part of prophecy, I have no idea. They renamed all those people over there, so they can make it seem like prophecy was being fulfilled over there. They renamed the lands, they renamed the people, and they make it seem like prophecy is playing out over there. So as people are looking at Yemen and all this stuff's happening over there and Syria, prophecy is being fulfilled right here, and they have no clue. That's why the whole world's going to be, totally in awe when the Most High cracks the skies open, because they're looking at different places and at different people who have nothing to do with prophecy. The Most High is not, prophecy does not revolve around what's happening between the Gentiles. If they are infighting and killing each other, how does that fulfill prophecy that's written in our scriptures? All the things in the scriptures about us being blinded and at the end awakened. And as we grow in this awakening, the other nations are going to feel the brunt of that by the Most High destroying them. So the Most High has allowed them to go ahead and make their proclamations, talk their mess, talk about things are going to get better, and now we know what's exactly about to happen. Then the Most High is now going to, I said we're bringing out the truth. They can't refute it, even though they make some weak videos trying to kind of, tiptoe around the subjects because they don't want to actually engage directly. They never want to talk about that slavery. They never want to talk about their actions and what they've done to the Most High's chosen people. So they'll tiptoe around everything else and talk about politics and how that's somehow part of prophecy. It's politics between the Democrats and Republicans and how, one's more godly than the other. So I'm sure every day now we're going to get more and more information. We're going to get their proclamations about how this is going to be their game changer, how this is going to make things so much better for them, all the while ignoring the Most High's chosen people. So like I said, as long as you guys ignore the Most High's chosen people and what you've done to them, nothing's going to go well for you. I said at the beginning of December that this month was going to be the worst month the Most High, led me to say, and it has been the absolute worst month. Since this this plague has been unleashed. Next month is going to be even worse. So long as you guys continue to ignore the Most High, our power, and us, it's going to continue to get worse. If you want to hear good stuff, go ahead and go to your people, and they'll tell you, oh no, things are going to get much better. But we're going to see which power is true. We're going to see if you guys praying to your gods and Caesarea and putting all your faith in your vaccines is going to save your society. I'm going to put my faith in the Most High. I'm going to be continue to be led by the earthly mother who has been sent by the Most High in order to bring us back and prepare us, for the return of our Father. So everything I said, the Most High is the one who's actually given all this knowledge, understanding, and all this information. Great example was yesterday. I read that the book that I had read about the sacred sites, and the same day I shared some of it on Patreon a little while ago. But the Most High moved me to go ahead and make those couple videos yesterday. Same day that I make that video, or those two videos, brothers Big Levi and brothers Abdullah Asir received their books in the mail. Now, mind you, I'm over here in Southern California. Abdullah Asir is over in the Northeast, and Big Levi is in Florida. So we haven't had any contact or anything as far as like, hey, I'm going to do this video today. Why don't you do one too? It doesn't work like that. So I made that video, or those two videos yesterday, and then all of a sudden they have their books and they see the differences. They see what the other nations took out and switched up, which then helps you to understand. Okay, these books, I think mine was like the 1981 or 82, I think 81 version. I think they have like an 87, 80. It's like a few years difference, not that much, but they made a lot of changes in order to switch the whole framework. I left a Big Levi's video in the community section. You guys want to check it out, because then you can see how what I was reading was not what was in their book. And that's pretty much just like from first edition to the second edition. But that was the Most High showing how, they've been lying, hiding information, and the Most High exposed them last night. That's why I have nothing but the utmost confidence that the Most High is working with us. Because that stuff happens to me like a lot. And I'm sure it happens to a lot of you a lot, because the Most High is the one who's controlling our steps. And he is the one that's, having us plant seeds here and there. He's using all of us in his own special way. So like I said, that is more confirmation that this is all the Most High. I love that video because it was great to be able to see what they did, what they gave us at first in the first edition, and then what they switched up. They took out the whole information about the horses, among other things. They wanted to make it seem like they were the good guys, and they were switching things up as well. I pray that those brothers continue to do that, with this book when I bring out more information, and they can show the difference between what's in my book and what's in their book, because that shows you exactly what it is that they want to hide. So they told us that the Spanish brought the horses here, and if they weren't here before, the camels were over in the so-called Middle East and they weren't here. And that throws a whole monkey wrench into all that. It throws a monkey wrench into all their lies. So like I said, I pray that we're going to continue to do more of that. The Most High, like I said, the Most High is absolutely awesome. You can't do anything against the Most High. Like I said, he's playing chess, 3-dimensional chess. While these people aren't, and I said, they're not even on the checkerboard yet. And I said, that's absolutely amazing. So yeah, you're not going to hear about, a lot of these things going on positively for the other nations anymore. They have moved into the curses, and they're fighting tooth and nail to get back to their blessing. And that's never going to happen. The Most High raised them up, and now he's bringing them down. He brought us down, and now he's raising us up once again. All praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahushai. Shalom.